Have you ever looked at a totally everyday piece of tech? I mean, something so incredibly mundane you use it without even a second thought, and suddenly realized, wait a minute, this is actually the perfect trapdoor right into my entire digital life? Today, we're basically going to deconstruct an illusion of security. We're looking at a fascinating and honestly kind of terrifying exploit that takes a feature designed purely for our convenience and completely flips it into a weapon. Okay, let's dive into this.
It's a genuine question, right? How do you hack the unhackable? If you follow the tech space at all, you know WhatsApp is globally infamous for its end-to-end encryption. It is built so that sniffing user messages in transit is mathematically practically impossible. Meta pours absolutely massive resources into making sure this app is an impenetrable fortress. But, as we're going to see in this explainer, hackers don't really try to smash through the fortified front gates. Instead, they look for that little side window you accidentally left open for the cat. Just think about the stark contrast here for a second. On one side, we have Meta's billions of dollars spent annually on state-of-the-art encryption algorithms, elite cybersecurity teams, the whole shebang. And on the other side, one simple pixelated square, a standard QR code. The expectation is that to compromise an account like this, an attacker would absolutely need supercomputers or some crazy zero-day exploit. But the reality? It's far stranger and way more low-tech. It involves exploiting a built-in convenience feature that you probably use all the time. Part 1, the fortress and the back door. Every great heist movie involves bypassing a seemingly perfect security system by finding a routine human element that no one thinks twice about. Well, our backdoor here is the WhatsApp Link Devices feature. I'm sure most of you are super familiar with this. It allows you to seamlessly use WhatsApp on a computer or laptop simply by pointing your phone's camera at a QR code on your monitor. It's incredibly useful, but if you start thinking like a hacker, this isn't a tool for productivity, no way. This is an open door. It is a highly dangerous vulnerability just sitting there waiting to be taken advantage of. Part 2. Enter QRL Jacking. So how exactly does an attacker just walk through that open door? They use what's known as QRL Jacking, which stands for Quick Response Login Jacking. This is actually a recognized vulnerability, officially covered by OWASP. That's the Open Worldwide Application Security Project. The entire advantage of this attack lies in its sheer simplicity. It relies exclusively on the logic of the login with QR code feature itself. The attacker isn't breaking encryption keys, they're simply changing where the QR code actually goes. Now, what's really interesting here is the specific wording used by OWASP. They describe it as a simple social engineering attack. Think about that. This isn't about writing some crazy complex malware. Social engineering means the hacker is hacking you, the user. They are tricking human psychology to achieve session hijacking, which is literally stealing your active, logged-in state right out from under you. And, this isn't just an isolated WhatsApp problem, because this targets the fundamental concept of scan-to-login features. It expands the scope of the threat massively. Discord is another major platform with this exact same feature, making it similarly vulnerable. Really, any application relying on a QR code as a secure way to log into an account is potentially at risk here. Part 3. Anatomy of the attack. Let's move along and see how this builds, breaking down exactly how this trap is set and sprung. Step 1. The attacker crafts a malicious phishing website that actually pulls the real WhatsApp login QR code. Step 2. Because WhatsApp QR codes expire every few seconds, the attacker sets up a neat little script to regularly auto-update the code on their fake page. Step 3. The victim is lured to the page and scans the QR code with their mobile app. And Step 4. The moment they scan it, boom, the attacker instantly gains the live session, which they can then store in a Firefox profile or a similar environment on their end. The victim thinks they logged themselves in somewhere, but actually, scratch that, they just authenticated the hacker's computer. But why would a victim scan a random QR code in the first place? Well, that's where the social engineering comes in. The attacker wraps this real QR code in a highly convincing, totally fake environment. As our source material points out, a common tactic is using money baits. The irony is profound here. A hacker bypasses literally billions of dollars in elite cybersecurity simply by promising a user a fake cash prize if they just scan a code. Part 4. The Hacker's Toolkit. Let's shift our perspective for a second and look over the hacker's shoulder. To be fair, Meta isn't blind to this. They actually tried to patch this vulnerability. They updated their web login page by adding a login with phone number option right alongside the QR code. Interestingly enough, this slight change in the web page layout was actually enough to temporarily break the original, outdated proof-of-concept tool that was just publicly sitting there on GitHub. For a brief moment, the automated tool couldn't find the QR code to copy it. But hackers adapt quickly, right? The setup used to revive this attack involves a few specific components. First, Kali Linux, which is essentially a specialized operating system totally packed with cybersecurity tools. Next, an interface that looks a bit like Metasploit. Kind of think of that as a digital dashboard or command center for launching attacks. Finally, the tool uses specific modules. While it could have modules for Discord or whatever else, this proof of concept focuses specifically on the WhatsApp module. Once the attacker inputs their local IP address and a port, they hit run and generate their phishing link. And this brilliantly illustrates the cat and mouse game of cybersecurity. Remember how WhatsApp's UI update broke the tool? Well, the source notes that a hacker managed to fix the broken tool not by writing a massive new program from scratch, but simply by tweaking a tiny bit of code, specifically updating the XPath of the QR code. They literally just pointed the tool to the new location of the code on WhatsApp's updated web page. With that tiny tweak, the dead exploit was instantly revived, and the fake QR code started loading perfectly on the phishing page once again. What makes this tool exceptionally dangerous is its scalability. This isn't just about targeting one single person at a time. The tool allows the attacker to hold multiple compromised sessions simultaneously. Imagine a dashboard showing dozens of active WhatsApp connections. The attacker can just sit back, grab a coffee, and simply pick and choose which accessed accounts they want to exploit, read, or manipulate at their leisure. Part 5. The Reality Check. We've seen the illusion of the fortress, and we've walked through the mechanics of the backdoor. So the absolute crucial point is this. There is no software patch for human psychology. Meta can spend another $1 billion on encryption next year, but if an attacker can convince you to willingly hand over your keys using a fake website promising money, none of that math matters. None of it. Education is the ultimate defense. Knowing how this trick works, knowing that scanning a QR code is exactly the same as typing in your ultra-secure password, is the only way to prevent falling for these phishing baits. Which leaves us with one final vital question to carry with you. The next time a random website, an email, or a pop-up promises you a reward and asks you to quickly scan a QR code with your phone, stop. Just stop and ask yourself, whose computer are you really authenticating? Whose account are you actually logging into? Keep your eyes open, stay focused, and never, ever scan a code unless you are absolutely sure who generated it.